What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, click the notification bell, all that good stuff, so you will not miss an upload. I told y'all I was gonna bring y'all some videos, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep it going, do a little compilation video, then a regular video, continue like that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So right now, what I'm doing is just cleaning her hairline from any oils, any glue, or anything like that before I start measuring the width of her head. So this is gonna be a 26-inch 13 by 4, I believe, deep wave wig. No, actually it's a loose deep wave wig and 26-inch. I don't know where my niece ordered it from. This was for her graduation. So pretty much now I'm finna just measure the wig on her head, have her hold it down so I can measure it, make sure I cut off the ear flaps right, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. So I'm pretty much having her hold it down, like I said, so I can measure. I believe I had cut the cap down the middle, and then I just glued it down, then I cut it. So pretty much I did what I needed to do as far as measuring the ear flaps and cutting it down the middle, so it can be easy for me to cut once I glue the wig down. Okay, so pretty much I'm just pulling the wig back, and I'm gonna start gluing the cap. I'm using those little things, just like glue applicators. I will put the link in the description for those. And I use Walker's tape glue. I think I use 3 coats or 2 coats if I'm not mistaken, and I believe I use I use 3 coats, and I think I used a coat of my best friend's glue too, which is the white that dries clear, which I like it too, and it's very good for beginners. So I'm just gonna apply the glue. Before I apply the glue, I'm just putting the foundation on the lace, and make sure it's darker than her skin so it will not leave an indentation. Like the same color you used on the cap, use it on the wig. That way it can look uniform, and then once you get it on, you can just go back over. So yeah, now I'm just laying the glue and just pressing it down. When you using this, press it down real flat as you can get it, because you don't want it to be bulky or have like chunks of glue in certain areas, because you didn't make sure it was really flat. It's also easier to put it on the applicator and then put it on the head versus putting it on the head then just wiping it in, because sometimes some areas are thicker than others. So that's a tip. Just put the glue on the applicator, then glue it. I'm just wiping down the hairline where you're gonna place the wig, and that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And I know y'all can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm pretty much explaining it exactly how I'm doing it. So pretty much all I'm just doing is putting the lace glue on the where the cap starts at, a little above where the cap starts at. That's behind her hairline. I'm sorry, in front of her hairline. That way you won't get any glue on her actual hairline. So I'm just letting the glue dry, combing it out, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, you may not be able to see me, but pretty much what I'm doing is just gluing the cap before where the actual cap starts. So I'm putting it not on the cap, but a little before where the cap starts. And I'm stopping it at the very tip of the cap, because remember, the cap is not on the hairline, it's before the hairline. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I think that's my second layer, and I'm gonna do one more layer of that. Then I'm just gonna lay the hair down. I'm gonna let it dry good enough, and then what I do is put the heat on. And once I lay the lace down, I'll turn it on cool, and then I'll just lightly massage with no force at all the areas where I laid the glue, because pretty much the glue is gonna be dry, but you're just heating it back up with the heat, then going back in and drying it with the cool air. So that, remember that also. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'll be back. And you'll see me go over it again because I'm smoothing it out real good just to make sure it's flat. That way no clumps are in the glue and the wig fell off. But anyways, it wasn't glued down. I just had it laid on her head. But yeah, I'm just going back in and smoothing the glue out really, really good and really flat so it won't leave no lumpy spots or have it like bumpy looking or like, snotty looking. So you want to make sure you smooth that glue down really good with that applicator or whatever it is that you use, and make sure all layers are very, very thin and that they are smoothed out really, really well so you can get a flawless install. So right here, I just took some alcohol on some napkins and just cleaned her hairline, cleaned it really, really well. That way, when I lay the glue, some spots it won't be sticking in where I don't want it to be. So pretty much, if I put glue over more area than I wanted to, I'll just go in and clean it off really good. So that's all I did. I done measured it and everything. I'm gonna start placing it. I'm gonna give her the dryer, let her hold it, and just place the glue, the lace in the glue. And what I did before I did that was took the wax stick and I just hot combed the hairline back. That way no flyaways or anything won't be in the glue. It won't get in the glue. So I just hot combed that back to get it out of my way. And right now I'm just measuring up so it can be even though I might have to still cut a little bit more off the sides or whatever, because the lace actually scratches when you pull it. So each time you pretty much may have to cut some of the lace off when you're reinstalling the wig. If it's a very, very scratchy thin lace, you will sometimes have to cut each time you reinstall the wig, and that's normal from my experience. And right here, I'm just smoothing out the glue like I was telling y'all, really, really flat so it won't be no lumps. It won't have a bulky install. The install can be seamless and flat without having that gunky look from too much glue piled up in certain areas. So keep that in mind again. Make sure you start with those thin layers and smooth them out really, really well so you won't have to worry about a messy install. So now I'm just giving my client the dryer so she can just hold it in front of the hairline while I press the lace in the glue. I'm cleaning some screens of hair out. And then I'm gonna start laying, and I give the client the dryer on hot and low heat, just so the glue can heat back up a little bit before I start laying the lace inside of the on the glue. So she's just pretty much heating the glue back up. I'm cleaning some little strands of hair out, and then I'm gonna start laying the lace down. And that's what I'm doing right now. You probably can't see me that well, but yeah. I pull it forward, and I make sure I pull her forehead down, the client's forehead down. That way it won't bulk up. So just, and once you place it in the glue, you're gonna pull the lace forward, but comb the hairline back with a little bit of force. That way it will not bulk up. So make sure you do that as well. And when you're doing it, do it right. I just switched the sides of the dryer, and then once I get that side down, I'm gonna turn it on cool so it can start back drying. And you don't want to really press in until you know for sure that it's not wet looking. It's not gonna look matte, but it's not gonna be as shiny as it would be if it's wet. And that's how you know you can start pressing. Or you can feel it with your finger, and as long as it don't come back stringy, you good to go. Just make sure you check all areas, and if it don't come back stringy, that's good. You heat it back up just for a little, and then press it down, and then you're gonna start with the cool air and finish it off with the cool air. And even sometimes when y'all can't really see exactly what I'm doing, I feel like I explain pretty good to let you know exactly what I'm doing and how you should do it to get the results that I get. So pretty much, even though you can't really see as much, I'm definitely explaining it in great detail so you can understand exactly what I'm doing, and you can picture how I'm doing it and then follow those steps. And eventually, like I always say in all my videos, you will definitely learn your own method once you do it once or twice. And now I'm just taking the eyebrow razor and I'm just cutting along the hairline to take the excess lace off. And another thing is, I usually pretty much like doing it I usually like cutting the lace, the shape of the hairline, before I glue it on. I don't really like doing the lace cutting method after I glue it on, because sometimes the lace actually, too much of the lace could have been got in the glue. You know how you trying to press it in the exact spots where the glue is for the hairline. Sometimes I overdo it and I put too much of the lace in, and then I have to go back in and cut it, then clean those spots where the glue was. So I try to cut it sometimes before I actually put the lace on. And then I just have to glue the hairline down. Place the hairline in the glue. And then I don't have to cut anything because it be perfect, because I've already pre-cut it matching the hairline. So she pretty much going in with the cool air while I'm combing back the lace, and I'm combing back and finessing the hairline, like pretty much trying to get everything together before I wrap it down and then sew down the back. So yeah, that's pretty much what she's doing with the cool air, low cool air. She's just pretty much drying the hairline as I instructed her to do while I'm combing, or whatever it is that I'm doing, just to get the hairline ready so I can wrap it down. And on the flaps, what I usually do is use my best friend glue, which is the latex glue. Yeah, the latex glue. I use it on the edge flaps because I think it's better once you glue the hair down. And then you know sometimes the flaps don't get glued down as good as the rest of the lace. I always go in with that latex glue, the white glue that dries clear, and do it on my edge flaps. I like that method. And I'm just cleaning off now with some alcohol before I wrap her down. Spraying some gotta be glued spray on her hairline. And that's after I put the foundation on the lace part. And now I'm just gonna take the Gotta be good. Spray and wrap her hairline down. Then I'll just sew the back in. Okay, so to wrap her hair down, I actually use a stocking of pantyhose from CVS because that actually wraps it really, really good and really, really tight, and it's kind of like silky. So it definitely helps it give that great melt. So keep that in mind. Also, you can buy like an extra large or plus size one and use those to wrap your hairline down because it definitely gives it that melt effect due to, I guess, because of the silk material of the or the latex or nylon material of the stocking. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and sew it down while she's still trying it. In the front, I'm just gonna sew it down in the back. And when I sewed it, I just looped in, looped out, knot, loop in, loop out, knot, loop in, loop out, knot. So pretty much under, pull out, over, loop again, and then a knot between the thread, the two loops. Just go through it and then knot it. And that's what I do. Loop, loop, knot, loop, loop, knot, loop, loop, knot, until I finish sewing the back down. And when I do sew the back down, I actually don't sew it from the bottom. I actually go like between the very bottom track and the second track, and I sew it through that. I don't sew it from the very bottom of the wig. I always sew through the tracks. And I do pull the wig down. I mean, from the bottom, I pull it down so it can be tight, so it won't be crumpled up in the front lace part for the parting area or the lace where the lace is. I just pull it down as I sew, and that makes sure it's tight and it's snug on the client's head also. So now that I took the wrap off, I'm going to go ahead and just comb out the hairline. And once I comb out the hairline, I'm going to part out for the edges, and then I'm going to just wax stick the hairline, the front, for styling. So I'm just right now just parting out where the hairline for the edges. And I usually use my best friend's edge control, but I didn't have any more. So I use this other gel. I can't remember the name of the gel, and I'm not in the hair area. So I'll just link it in the description, what I use for the edges. But usually I use edge control, my best friend edge control, because it's thick and it actually keep the edges nice. And even though they don't move, they are soft. They are not hard. They stay in place. even with the stuff that I use, it does kind of make the other stuff that I use, it does kind of make the edges hard, but it don't look bad if you use the Lotta Body mousse with it. And not a lot of it, because if you use a lot of it, it's going to be kind of ghetto, Shanae Jenkins looking. So I don't use a lot of that. And then if you use the mousse with it, the foam wrap lotion, the Lotta Body or whatever edge mousse you use with that gel that I also use, they won't be hard. It'll be soft. It'll be like a natural look versus a hard edge. And also that wax stick that I'm using is from my best friend's hair collection as well. It's a really good wax stick, along with the edge control and the lace glue. All of those products are really, really good. And I'm just hot combing the hairline once I part it out for the edges before I cut them. Just curl them a little bit with my little small flat iron and swoop them with the gel that I was using. And I will put the gel in the camera so you can see. And now I'm just going in with my foundation brush with the color that I use on the cap in the front of the lace, and just brushing it in so it can look more natural also. And I'm spraying my little wig shine spray, and I'm just hot combing the hairline back. That way it can be nice and flat, and it won't be bulky and it won't stand up. It'll look as natural as it could possibly look. And I'm taking an eyebrow archer right now, and I'm just cutting it as short as I want it, but I cut like in a downward motion. That way it won't be too even. It'll be kind of like layered, and that way when you sweep it, it can go into the rest of the hairline nice and flawlessly. And I'm probably gonna cut again once I curl and then start swooping them. They may be too long, so I'm gonna cut again. And I do also kind of wish I would have went a little bit shorter when I did do the baby edges and when I did the finished look. Although it was nice, I wish I would have made them a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller. But that's fine, because you learn in every install you do, every style you do, you always learn something new. And like I said, although they were nice and neat, I wish I would have did them a little bit smaller and a little bit thinner, which on my next install, I'm sure that's what I'll do. Okay, so I showed you the edge control in the mousse that I was going to use. That is from my friend's collection. It is hard, kind of like a hardening mousse, and it's good also for when you're wrapping it down to make that glue lock in extra tight. but I use that in the edge control. So it's going to give it a nice soft look. It's going to give it a nice soft look, but it's going to be firm. But it doesn't look hard. It doesn't look bulky or anything like that. It looks nice. Even though the mousse is hardening, but the edge control brings the hardness down a little and make it soft and more natural looking. And it took me some time on the edges because I'm a neat freak. So I'll comb, cut, swoop, and keep going over that process until I'm satisfied with the look that I was going for. So you'll see me working on these edges for a few minutes, just combing, cutting, swooping, adding product just to get it to the right way of what will look nice with this wig style and this curl pattern. So yeah, it's just a part down the middle, but I just continuously critique, I mean not critique, but finesse those edges until they were how I wanted them to be. And that if edges are not an easy thing to do. It's something that you have to work on and you have to do to your liking and your client's liking. Edges can be done any kind of way. So find what works for you when you're doing edges. It doesn't have to be what other people like. If it works for you, if you like it, if you like dramatic or natural, work on that to fit what you like in your style and what your clients like, and most of all, what works with that style that you're doing. So remember, continuously finesse those edges until you have them exactly how you want them and what works for your style, your client, and the look. I know I finessed those edges for about a good 20 minutes straight, but I got them to how I wanted them, so I was satisfied and I wasn't going to stop until I got it the way I wanted. I am most definitely a neat freak and I will continuously pick until it's exactly the way I imagine it to be. And I get the look that I want. And sometimes I may look over it and be like, damn, I should have did this different or that different, but all in all, it was perfect. When I finished it, my client loved it. It was a hit, as always. I'm the weed slayer, and that's just what it is. Finally, I got them edges to how I wanted them, and I'm finally wrapping it down. And I'm gonna spray the hair down, part it, comb it, hot comb it, get it to how I need it to look. So pretty much that's what you're gonna see me doing in this process. Just wrapping those edges down, and then I'm just going in with my shine spray, my wax stick, combing that hairline back, getting it nice and flat. Then I'm gonna make that center part, put that foundation, a little bit of black spray, and it is a wrap. And not too much black spray. You do not want it to exceed the where the hair stops. You don't want to get it into the hairline where the hairline looks like there's nothing there. So make sure you stop it at the bulk of the hairline when you're black spraying, so it will not look like a weave. You want it to look natural. The look that I got the look that I wanted, so I started spraying it down with the shine spray, a little bit of water. I didn't want it to be too wet, but I think I ended up wetting it a little more than I wanted it to be, but it still looked nice because it's a curly hair. Once it dried up, it look good, wet or dry. So that's pretty much what I'm doing my finishing touches. Gonna take off that wrap, get y'all a last look, and it is a wrap. Doing the big reveal right now. Let's go. Combing that hairline back right before I take out that wrap. And then it will be definitely a wrap at that. And I'm sleepy, so I'm talking a little slow or whatever you want to call it. And hush. You laughing for? Why you listening to me and you playing your game? They're trying to be in my business. That's crazy. That's sad. They're not. You got right in my business. Not today. Again, y'all know I'm a neat freak, so I'm a pick until I feel like it's right. And pretty much that's what I'm doing. I was been supposed to take that wrap off and get this client out of the chair, but being who I am, I can't help it. Now the wrap is about to finally come off and it's gonna be done, but unfortunately I just can't help myself. And I feel like the client rolling her eyes, but I don't care about none of that. And now I'm just going down the part with the concealer, Hot combing again. Can't help myself. Turn the comb backwards, press down the part to define the part some more. Then I'm going to go in with that Blackiana, spray that part, clean it up, and it's a result. And boom, there go that $1 million reveal. What's up? Ate up the place. Ate up the place. What y'all hoes talking about? Do you? Yeah. Period. If you don't hurry up and get out that damn girl hair, that hair is perfect. Go sit down. Just picking. Wow.
Talking to me?
No, I'm talking to my video. Mind your business. Come on. Put your headphone on. You won't be in mine. Exactly. For sure. But yeah, I'm just being extra. Can't help myself. Get out of this girl head. Sometimes that's why I don't be caring when my clients late, because I've been overran the time frame of the previous client trying to perfect their hair and it already be perfect. So that's just me. I can't help it. But yeah, I'm finally finished after however many minutes it was. And it's pretty much laid.